Hi, I'm Darcy.
And I'm Sam.
And this is Bath Plays Music's YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk to you about the Seagull guitars. Sam has a Seagull guitar, I have a Seagull guitar obviously. Sam actually bought a Seagull guitar from me many moons ago.
I basically came in looking for something new. I was probably looking at getting another brand of guitar, and then Darcy just pointed me in the direction of these ones, and I was like, damn, basically. And I just had to go with that one. And then it turns out when I bought it that, I think it was Ed actually said, there was another customer who was a bit disappointed because he'd also wanted to buy one as well.
Yeah.
So I couldn't be happy with mine. I've got, I can't remember what it's called.
What's your one? Hang on, let's have a look. Oh, well, your own one?
My own one's, it's a lighter satin finish something or another. I can't actually remember.
It's a Seagull guitar.
It's a Seagull guitar,
yeah.
It's beautiful. Use it for, we use it for recording on the wedding videos that we record music for, and I've used it a whole bunch of stuff. Used it so for live stuff. Couldn't be happier, and these ones are just equally as gorgeous.
What have you got there? Your one. I can remember the numbers.
It's an S6 original slim CH, which stands for cherry, burnt umber, and
I've got the Entourage Folk burnt umber QIT. Being the, or Q1T rather, being the pickup system that's actually installed. I think yours has got Fishman Sonoflex.
Mine does indeed,
system in there, so you don't have the advantage of having the controls on the outside, or a tuner. I've got a tuner. Mine's better than yours. But anyway, just a brief history of the Seagull guitars. I mean, the Seagull are a Canadian company. They are tied in with Godin. They're tied in with Simon & Patrick and Art & Luthier. Now, the great thing about a Seagull guitar is it is a made in Canada product. Even the timber itself comes from Canada. They're one of Godin or Seagull, one of the very few companies in the world that actually own their own forests and harvest their own timbers. So, and being Canada, they've got loads of timber out there. I mean, I think these ones are, I believe this is like cherry wood back and size on my one.
Normally are, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's on.
What I read on their website, I think this is the same back and size that I've got on my one. I think it's actually the same. It might be the same one as that one, but they all tend to be cherry back and size from what I read. Anyway.
But I mean, certainly a company like Godin or Seagull rather, they definitely push the boundaries on timbers and the quality of timbers they use for their guitars. And something I have noticed with their instruments is the consistency with them. They turn up, they're absolutely perfect. The packaging they turn up in is spot on. These actually have airbags around the bodies when they turn up in the boxes. They're fabulous. You sort of practically bounce them off the floor and they'd be absolutely fine, but nonetheless.
And just generally the finish of them is just phenomenal. I mean, really for a guitar like this, I would expect to pay double what they actually go for.
Well, that's the impression I get, because the thing is, I mean, we're upstairs here at Bath Bay Music, which is our acoustic room. We've got various brands scattered around here. And from a salesman's experience, I show people various guitars around the price of the go down. Seagull, and they're, you know, oh, this is nice. When you hand one of these, everybody says a very similar thing, and that is the amount of warmth in the mid-range, and I think that's probably what took you by surprise on these guitars, because I mean, they're not, this is not like a big-bodied instrument, but in terms of overall warmth and depth of sound and accuracy, that's the other thing, the accuracy, where you can actually hear each individual string ringing out, is something to behold with these. And incidentally, tuning stability is terrific, absolutely terrific with these guitars. They really are.
Yeah.
So
I mean, as well, the volume that just playing the one I picked up, I think it's the same sort of size as that one. Like compared to, I've got an older Dreadnought at home, and you know the volume is phenomenal. It just rings out, and I think that's in part just due to the kind of wood they've used, because obviously it's a largely fairly light finish to them. They don't have a particularly lacquered finish.
Well, that's one of the things that Seagull actually get across in their paperwork that usually comes with guitars. They use the absolute minimum amount of lacquer on their instruments, so it enables the timber to actually breathe and actually produce the tone. The problem is if you get an acoustic guitar where they've overcooked it with the lacquer, and in some cases that is maybe to do with the structural build of the guitars, to put lots of lacquer on and stop it expanding and twisting. If it's braced and put together properly, you shouldn't need a great deal of lacquer on the instrument. And of course, the more you lacquer it, the more you enclose the tone of the instrument. You also make it incredibly heavy as well and unbalanced. They are, aren't they? Both of them are really, really, really light instruments. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so here's some individual tones, and I'll let you.
Okay, you want me to play first? All right. So this is the Entourage. Might take a minute.
Yeah. So I'm just in standard tuning here. I'm going to do some drop D stuff. I'm really annoying Neil just now in a bit, but so let's just do some. I have a tendency for loving that sort of thing. Just nice and bright sound, nice full sound. Absolutely gorgeous.
I was saying, one of the things I noticed as Sam was playing that guitar, I personally make a judgment of a good quality acoustic when I can hear all the tone coming from here as opposed to the sound hole. Now, some particularly on cheaper guitars, it solely relies on the sound hole to really give it some projection volume. But the whole thing's alive. The whole tables come alive on that guitar.
You can feel it vibrating throughout the whole thing, which especially again.
This one's the same. It's just alive. They're totally alive. It's almost like the timber's still planted in the ground. It's amazing. Really.
Definitely have some character and have just the absolute best quality that I could possibly imagine, especially at the price point. And there's really not much I would.
I think I just noticed something actually. My one, I don't know if yours has got the same. They've actually got Tusk bridges and nuts on them, and Tusk is it's kind of like a synthetic ivory. It's got great self-lubricating properties to it, so Abbey Wyoga sort of bring out nicely on there as well. So there's no muting across the strings at all. And sometimes as a guitar tech, luthier, trying to enable that to be even-handed is quite difficult to achieve with a plastic nut, for example. So everything sort of reeks quality on these guitars. I think they're marvellous. I really do.
We'll have to do a bit more.
Go on. Yeah.
They're well known. They're well known. Feel just the volume that you get from it, just especially when you open up the chords like that.
Hear that.
It's really nice and powerful. That is. It's almost the volume. You get good volume from that. But when you're really, these are really made for the sort of really nice open chords that you can get definitely.
Yeah.
But even the sort of more rhythmic stuff that you do when you're just sort of doing bar stuff still comes through. It's got the rhythmic quality you can get from it. Really hear that attack, especially sort of mixed with a Manny Man 2mm pick that we were talking about.
I noticed that.
And they both look incredible, must say, from over here.
Yeah, definitely. Great guitars. And also, I'll go spoil the moment, see. That's all I'm playing, Mike. Because people just shut off.
That's it. Now we've lost
we lost any credibility that we were hoping to get by playing.
The one thing I was actually looking at is how I don't know many artists. I don't know how many artists actually play these guitars. I've not heard them before, but actually my favourite band, Switchfoot, guitarist or the lead singer and guitarist John Foreman actually does play. He normally plays Taylors, but he does also play a Seagull Acoustic as well. And I can't remember what song it's on now, but I had to listen to it. I was like, that's sounding. I almost prefer the sound of that than I do to like a sort of high.
Yeah, I was going to say it's quite a contrast, isn't it? Because obviously Taylor are generally sort of quite high end. They're up with the Martins and that, and then you got this guy who obviously favours his Taylor, but also plays a Seagull.
Yeah.
And then for you to pick out that you prefer the sound.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if it was a bias thing or anything, but I generally prefer. I don't know if it's just because it's brighter. It just sort of has. There's less, as again with the lack of sort of finish and stuff, there's less sort of, less stuff like blocking the sound and sort of, limiting it. I mean, that's not, Taylor and Martin make absolutely fantastic guitars. Make no mistake. But especially if I personally can't afford to spend upwards of that much on guitars. No. But I love that quality, and especially for I'm doing more in the way of gigging now, and I need to know that my instrument not only is robust, which these are absolutely are, as I've proven numerous times, but they also just sound great consistently, and they don't deteriorate. And some cheaper guitars, some cheaper acoustics will, as soon as the string, within weeks of the strings being changed, they just start to go dead. I have not changed the strings once on my one, and it still sounds phenomenal. So
of course, the other thing that's most important as a gigging musician is the tuning stability of the guitar, because the last thing you want is your guitar dropping out halfway through a song. I mean, let alone gig, because you can tune it in between numbers, but these things really are very stable with the tuning, and I think that's testimony to the build quality of the guitars themselves as well, and of course using the Tusk nut and bridge on them. So yeah, they're really good for that. Yeah.
So there we go.
There you go. There you go. I mean, you couldn't get any more, you know, positive than Sam here, with who actually owns a Seagull guitar. And once again, you know, let's reiterate that, you know, the big brands, the Martins and Taylors are superb guitars. They really are at any price point. But when these are coming, well, these coming at about 500 quid, about the £500 bracket.
I only paid about sort of 440.
I think yours was 449, wasn't it? Yeah. You know, and they're just terrific guitars for the money. They really are. I mean, it's one of the things here at Bath Place Music, because we lack space. We can't have every guitar by every brand in stock all the time. So we obviously have to be very careful and make sure we pick out what we believe is the best value for money guitar, best sounding guitar for that price bracket, and the Seagulls absolutely fall into that every single time. They really do, really do.
100% agree. Definitely would recommend anyone who's looking for a guitar. Come down Bath Place.
Get a Seagull.
Try one of these
try
out.
some other stuff, but buy a Seagull.
Come down the store. Try one of these out. I reckon there's a 70% chance you'll leave with one. Genuinely,
So when you purchase a guitar or bring a guitar into the workshop here at Bath Place Music, one of the things we're keen to do is set the instrument up. So we have workbench facilities here. We have all the correct tools, nut files, Allen keys to adjust the truss rod. One of the things we tend to do if we're doing a guitar service, or guitar spar as we like to call it, is we will strip the strings off the guitar. The fretboard will be oiled. We polish the frets as well, because believe it or not, you can get muck on the frets that actually causes strings to buzz occasionally, and I've come across it quite a few times. It does happen. So we'll do that. We'll also check the backlash on the machine heads as well. We'll string the guitar up. We'll also check the neck to make sure the neck's nice and straight, and give the best possible playing action. But we'll also adjust the guitar to how you prefer it to be, how you prefer to be able to play it. It's very, very important that your guitar is set up to its optimum setting for you to be able to play it well. And the other thing is if you've got a guitar that's not set up correctly, intonation, which is the tuning distance between the 12th fret and the bridge and the 12th fret and the nut, if that's out in any way, when you start playing chords further up the neck, it's going to sound out of tune and very unpleasant indeed. So that's why it's important to get your guitar set up on a regular basis. We do all those things here. We can do also minor repairs on the bodies. We can do frets as well. And also, incidentally, if you have electric guitars, we love doing things like pickup upgrades. We love replacing electronics. And of course, if you've got any kind of fault in terms of the electronics on your guitar, we're happy to put that right for you as well. So that's the workshop facilities here at Bath Place Music. Say, bring a guitar, anything whatsoever. If you're even unsure about something that doesn't seem right with the guitar, bring it down and we'll be able to give you our professional advice and a way to solve the problem for you.
Okay, so thanks again for watching, and thanks for Sam coming in to tell us his thoughts on the Seagull guitar that he bought. And hope you enjoyed the video, and keep watching our channel to see further videos in the future. And once again, thanks for watching. Goodbye.